REST side. REST is an architecture, right? It's not a protocol. REST is not the background policies or rules or guidelines which is helping you transmit data over the internet, but rather it's a structuring pattern or structuring guidelines that you have to follow. So these are specifications which will enable you package your payload, package your request in a way that it is efficient and optimized, and then follow the internet's architecture to transmit data, right? So REST typically is representational state transfer, I believe. I might be wrong on this, but that's an architecture rather. The APIs which follow these specifications, they are called as REST APIs, right? So initially in HTTP, what would happen is you will have a client, you will have a server, they will be interacting one-on-one each other. But in this case, client will invoke an API. So it's like you hit through postman, and then the postman or the request rather will go to the server. It will read, write whatever it is supposed to do, and it will come back and give the data to client. So that's the intermediate specification that you are trying to follow. And that's what the REST or REST APIs rather are. It works on HTTP 1.1 or plus, not on 1.1, sorry, not on 1.0, and it supports all the methods that we just talked through, right? Another differentiation is it works on resources. So how do I explain resources to you? Now, think of any endpoint that you would have used mostly in your day-to-day lives. Think of any random endpoint or API. Anyone, Anna, Devika, sorry, Kalyani, Sarang, any random API which you use on a day-to-day basis, or functionality rather, not even API, functionality. Let's stick to functionality.
Let's say we are doing a Google search, maybe.
Okay. Google search. Typically, if you are writing a SQL, this is how it would be, right? HTTPS 1.1 followed by what you are searching for, right? This is a typical structure that it would be Google search, API name or functionality name. This is your architecture on HTTP that you are trying to search for key. Key will be something that you will be sending or passing in payload when you generate a request. So this is following your HTTP architecture. If you make it in a way that this becomes a resource to you, like this, here key is the resource that you are trying to find, and you don't really care about the payload or the structure that you're sending. You have a specification guideline that you are following, right? So you are doing a get Google search slash key, which could be like slash search slash iPhones, right? Slash search slash pixel 10, iPhone 17. So if you see, we are looking for specific resources, right? And this is the key differentiation. So everything is really being broken down into a use case that I want to specifically look for Pixel 10, not iPhone, not Xiaomi, not Vivo. I only care about Pixel 10. So when Google actually goes back to their server, right? And they actually look for entry for Pixel 10, they'll only give you back the responses related to Pixel 10 or iPhone 17, whatever you're looking for. So that's the differentiation in terms of HTTP and or REST APIs, right? They're actually breaking things down at resource level. So if I have to delete also, I'll delete, let's say slash delete slash Shreyansh. So in that case, what will happen is it will go back and look at the server because you have broken down the functionality at an abstract layer that Shreyansh is the person I want to delete from my database entity. So that's something which you should understand from a REST architecture point of view. That's the clear differentiation. HTTP is a protocol or HTTPS. REST is an architectural or an architecture which is being followed on top of HTTP and then defines or gives you guidelines to follow to be able to implement APIs, request, or structure your code basically. Both of them are stateless. They will not be storing your sessions or data and all. You have to establish a connection, then only the transmission will happen, then only the data transmit will work or the execution will work, right?